What is up, friends? Hope everyone is doing well out there wherever you may be. Welcome to the 9th installment of Useless Information with Danny B and Dick. I, of course, am Dick, and with me is this handsome young gentleman right next to me, Danny B.
Hey,
what's up, dude?
What's up, bud? And what's up, everybody out there? Thank you for following this show. It truly means a lot to both of us that you take the time out of your day and spend an hour to 2 hours listening to us rant. So it means a lot to us. Thank you very much. And this is the 9th installment. So you've listened to almost 9+ hours of us. So that is awesome.
Yeah. A couple of the first ones were 2 hours long. So
yeah. So really, thank you so much for the people that are going out of your way to do that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you. It definitely means a lot to us. You know, sometimes we just talk about bullshit and rant, but you guys love it. I mean, we're getting a lot of people that are really liking what we're doing. So we're going to keep going with it.
All right, y'all. We want to start out with shout outs. I think that's a big thing for us now. We want to show love. We want to show love to the people that mean a lot to us in a particular time when we are doing podcasts. So, I'm going to let you go first, bud.
Okay.
Because I have a couple.
Okay. Yeah, my shout out is just to an amazing woman. Would not be the man I am today if it wasn't for this woman. My mom, Patty, her birthday was yesterday, and she is 71 years young. She just looks amazing. She's super healthy. I just love how she's just so energetic at 71. And like I said, I would not be who I am if it wasn't for the guidance of my mother growing up. And I just wanted to shout out and tell her thank you. I don't even know if she listens, but I'll send her a clip of this and let her know that, hey, we shouted you out. But Mom, I love you. Thank you, Patty. You are the best.
Happy birthday. Shout out to you for having great kids. I mean,
definitely.
That is definitely just not him. So he's trying to take all the credit for what you've done.
No, it's just me.
But at 71, looking good. You know, sometimes I look at my grandmother and I'm like, man, I sure hope when I get close to your age, I look half as good as you do.
Yeah.
You know, so
exactly.
You know, the generation, man, you know, some of them went south. Some of them, majority of the generation look really good, dude.
Yeah.
You know, if they've been working their entire life and just been active, they look great, you know? So I think that's one of the big things I want to do is just, I got to stay active, mind and body, you know? I want to look good when I'm 70 years old.
Yeah. Like, what do you think it is? It's like, you look at people, I saw this clip of like, I don't know if like Wilford Brimley, right? The diabetes man, you know who that is? Look him up, but he did a lot of this stuff. And I think one of the movies he did, he looked old as fuck. And they said he was like 45. And I'm like, look him up. And that, like,
what's his name?
Wilford Brimley. He did the movie Cocoon.
It's the first thing that pops up as I'm typing up.
Yeah.
Dude.
So look, this guy was like, he looked like that, which you're probably pulling up, and he was like 50. Right. And you look at all these old people. I saw like the cast of Cheers, and like this guy was 35. He looked like he was 50. This guy was like, 38. He looked like he was 50. And I'm looking at it like I'm going to be 50 in like 2 years, and I look young as fuck still. You look young as fuck for being in your 40s. And it's like, why is it that our generation and even our parents' generation look young as fuck, but the previous generations, when they were 50, they look 50 as fuck? Like, why is that? It's just weird. I don't know if it's some in the water or if it's the preservatives in our food, something they're preserving us.
I don't know. The biggest thing right now, dude, I mean, I haven't seen my parents in 10+ years, so I can't really judge on what they look like right now, but I've seen pictures and it doesn't look like we were drinking out of the same water, dude. So I don't know, but, I'm thankful that I have my grandmother's genes. So, unexpected shout out to my grandmother, keep rocking. She's in her 80s and I saw her like 5 years ago and I was like, oh my God, you look amazing. Woman, you look amazing. I can't believe it. And she was in the kitchen, like doing the food, cooking, cleaning, doesn't want anybody to help her. I'm like, that's what it is. That is what it is. She's
That's
active.
It is.
She's
Staying active.
staying active.
Yep, for sure.
So, I would like to send a shout out. In light of the NBA playoffs that is kicking off, as a Laker fan, being one down to the Bucks right now, I want to send a shout out to your brother, Tim Dog, for being a badass basketball player.
Yes.
Despite being the height that he was, he balled everybody up.
Yep.
And we would go on the court. People would misjudge this dude, and he would hit threes and just light people up. So Tim Dog, for the NBA playoffs, go Lakers, go Tim Dog.
Well, you know why Tim Dog was such a good player? And he'll tell you this too. Because he grew up playing one-on-one against me. And I was 5 years older than him. So every time he tried to go up, I'd swap that shit out of it. Get that shit out of here, right? And he got so frustrated, he started shooting over me. And he started learning how to do an outside shot because he couldn't drive in on me because I was like fucking Shaq and Spud Webb, right? So he was like,
no, Mutombo, not in my house.
But you know what I mean? Like he had to learn an outside shot.
You were bullying him.
I was bullying him. And literally later in life, he was a baller. He would ball up all his friends. He could shoot from anywhere. And he thanked me. He's like, the reason I'm good at basketball is because I was really good at basketball when I was younger too. And then we would play all the time and I taught him stuff. And then I would bully the shit out. I said, I'm not letting you score. And I would beat him every time. And then one time he got older and he beat me shooting from outside. He was just shoot, boom, shoot, boom. I'm like, this kid's just ruling me. And that's why he got so good, because we practiced together all the time and he couldn't beat me. And then he had to learn that outside shot, and his outside shot was the shit. So he got better than me, you know, then that's all you can ask. Like your little brother getting better than you because he's, you know, fighting to be as good as you. And then he just got better than me. The kid was a baller when he got into high school and stuff, man, he was good.
We're seriously not like just talking out of our ass. And, you know, I mean, we're talking about middle school. Like what I recall, you know, I remember playing basketball with Tim in middle school into high school. And even in middle school, the floater 3-pointer, it looked so professional, dude. It was like, how the hell, like, where the hell did this kid learn this shit? Now, he's probably just thinking every single shot is like, fuck you, Richard.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck you, buddy. Yeah. And then he's just like, and it literally was a perfect arc. And most of it was good swishes because how you're describing it's like he had to. He had to make the perfect shot every single time, or you were just going to take it and run it up on him.
Exactly. And we always
amazing the motivation.
I mean, and then we would play where, like, you know, you get the ball back if you make it, and if he just kept making it, he'd always get the ball back, and that's how he beat me.
That's the rules, court rules.
And he also learned defense too. He ended up learning good defense because, like, he could steal a ball from me because he had to. So yeah, he ended up thinking he was like, I'm good at basketball because I had to play against you growing up, and so yeah, he earned that shit. Believe me.
Yeah.
He got really good.
Yeah. So that was my shout out. That's my AV shout out for this week.
Shout out. That's my little brother. Love that guy.
And if you are a football fan, the NFL draft is Thursday. This Thursday, the 24th, first round draft. Oh, the next 48 hours, if you're a football fan, is going to be so lovely. People trading, people picking up, trade. Oh, it's going to be so good. And my team is rumored to have a really not a shitty pick, but they're trying to pick what the fans don't want. And I'm getting kind of anxious right now. Like I'm so excited about Thursday, but if it's one of those things that, you know, like where they show the reactions of the fans, like in like the crowd and stuff like that. And then like the Texans pick blah, blah, blah. And the crowds are like, they're all like this. I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that person just with the deer in headlights. Like, no, we waited forever for this. So it's one of those, you know, if you score a good pick, man, you know, like you have so much potential. So it's really exciting if you're a football fan. If you notice, I'm not bringing up baseball because my Braves aren't doing so damn good.
Well, so far. They are not. But you know what? The Dodgers aren't doing that great either. Like, they're not even in first place. So which is crazy. Like, yeah. I mean, they're in second place, you know, but
jeez, what an arrogant thing to say, dude.
Well, you know how everybody picked them to win, and they spent all this money, and how are they not in first place? But the Padres
they're working things out,
ruling.
though.
Yeah, I don't think it'll last. But the Padres are actually in first place, so it's like, that sucks because they're the ones that are always talking shit and, you know, saying, oh, they're a better team. They were the better team and they just didn't play well in the playoffs last year. They should have beat the Dodgers, all this stuff. Like, take the L, buddy. Take the L. But now they're in first place, but they got a good team, so.
But we're not like, are we 20 games in already?
I think so. Yeah, getting pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah, so we still got 100 and 40 more games?
Yeah, but I wanted to be in first place the whole year. Like, come on.
Yeah, but no, I mean, that's something you really want. But even in like, as an NFL fan, I wouldn't want my team to like, to be undefeated. You know, I wouldn't want to shoot for that. I want my team, to be quite honest, right before playoffs hit, I want them to lose the last two games. Like, if we're like already playoff bound, I want them to lose the last two games. So when they go into the playoffs, they're like, we're going to just go ham sandwich, just go ape shit. Yep. That's what I want. I want them to know what it feels like to lose, because you guys know you can't do this in the playoffs. You lose one game, you're out. So it's important. So I want my team to I want the Braves to be right on the cusp of getting into the playoffs, so they just mop the rest of the fucking floor with everybody else. That would be ideal. Because right now they don't look like they're even going to get. They don't look too good even getting into the All-Star break.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, well, I don't know what the problem is. They were picked to be very high up there, but they're just not executing right now. So they might come back. I've seen it happen.
We need that torpedo bat.
Definitely need the torpedo bat. They should all use torpedo bats.
Yeah, everybody can just sign them up. Just send them all over.
Yeah. I saw a thing about the torpedo bats too, that just to go on what we were talking about last time, is I heard somebody saying that there's some at bats against certain pitchers they should use the torpedo bat and then not use the torpedo bat. That's getting into more numbers about like, oh, well, this guy, because he pitches this way, is going to jam you. So you should use a torpedo bat here because you'll have more sweet spot on this part. But no, use a regular bat on this at bat. So people are going to be using both. I thought that was pretty interesting. They're not
that is interesting.
To the torpedo bat. They'll use different bats based on numbers. So it's kind of cool, I guess. And I looked into more of it, and they all fit the specifications of what the rules state as far as a bat. They just move the sweet spot here and there. It's like, okay, that's fine. And Aaron Judge hasn't hit a home run in like 8 games. So it's like,
jeez,
you know what I mean? Like he hit like 3 or 4 in the first like 2 games, and he hasn't hit a home run in the last like 8 games. So it is what it is. Baseball is just a sport that it's up and down. It's always ups and downs in baseball. It doesn't matter what kind of bat you're using or anything. You're gonna have a slump.
There's something in like the air or the water, man. Because like everybody I'm talking to at work too, we're just like, man, we're exhausted. It's Tuesday. Like, what's going on? I'm like, I have no clue, man. Yeah. I feel like I've ran a marathon like every single day for the past week and a half, man. Like I can't get enough sleep. I can't rejuvenate nothing. I can't sit down and veg out enough where I feel great. It's weird. It's just a weird situation right now. So I think everybody's just in a funk. And something's going to hit. Like they're going to put a little nice, coloring and flavoring in the water, and we're all going to be happy afterwards. That's what's going to happen.
Well, that's how it was last week. Was like, I was just like down. I just had no energy and I was down. That's why, we were going to do this last week. I was like, I just can't, it won't be fun. And then this week I'm feeling like I have some energy. I feel great, It's just sometimes it happens. So,
it's just life.
Down. It's not how you it's not how you, I always say, it's not how you fall. It's how you get up. You're always going to fall, but you got to pick yourself back up.
I mean, I've come to a realization, understanding about a lot of things, and I've accepted a lot of things. So it takes a lot to kind of like dissect the issues going on in your life and accept the pros and cons of it.
Yeah.
And understand that sometimes things aren't, totally in your control as much as you would like him to, as much as you do right. Yep. I don't know if you guys listen to my podcast. You should. It's called the Conference Call Podcast. You can find it anywhere.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of good. I mean, it's all right. You know, it's, but you know, just accept that, you know, as much as you do well or whatever you do right, sometimes it may not work out properly, you know, and that's okay. You know, it's just like you said, it's how you get up, you know, if you learn from the mistakes. That's another thing too. It's like, you've told me numerous times in podcasts. It's like, dude, if you're going to keep doing the same shit over and over again, how do you expect different results?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's another thing. It's like comfortability. We get so comfortable with our day-to-day routines that the, you know, to hear change, like, hey, you need to change this. Like, oh, my 20-year routine that I've been doing religiously, it's bad for me. I need to change it. That's tough.
Yeah.
You know, it's really tough. So right now, I think I'm in a really good state and things are looking better. I'm going out to the beach a lot more, and man, I needed that sun, dude. It makes you feel so much better. I can't emphasize it enough, people. Just get outside for 10, 15 minutes. Just do something. It makes such a big difference. You know, everybody says, go to the gym. Like the gym sucks, people. It sucks getting in your car, going to the gym, signing in, being with a whole bunch of people you probably don't want to be around with, waiting for equipment that you'll never get in an hour or two. And then persuade yourself that this is what you want to do for an hour and a half in light of, for health or for looks. You know, it's hard. You know, but it gives you the dopamines and it makes you feel incredible afterwards. But you can do the same thing by just going outside and the sun does the same thing. It really, truly does.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
We're motivating you people.
Yeah, we've been going for walks and stuff
We're going to
like
get
that.
healthy this year. I know you're going out on walks. I've been seeing you.
We definitely are. Yeah. We've been trying to go out on walks and hikes and stuff. My girl just walked I don't know if you know, in Provo, there's a Y on the mountain for BYU, and you can hike up to that. And it's a pretty good hike. And I've never done it, and I really want to do it. I keep telling her I want to do it, but she did it today. And it's the first time in a long time she's done it. And she sent me a picture from the top of the Y. I was like, what? I was like, hell yeah. And the sun's out. Like, you know, I got the guns out now. Mm-hmm. You know, the sun's been out for a few weeks here, or for about a week here, because it snowed last week, but the sun's been out, and I was out walking yesterday. We go for little walks just here and there. And it's just, it feels so good to have that sun hitting me. I feel so much better, so energized when I go for a walk and just let that sun hit me. So yeah, you got to get outside. You got to go touch grass.
You know, I feel bad for people that are in like big cities that they can't look up and see stars.
Oh yeah. Oh dude, you should come out here, man.
Oh, I bet.
Bro. That's what I love about it.
I loved camping in Utah. It was, that was great. And then I'm sorry that, you know, Montana just kicked you guys right in the butt. And then when I saw their stars, it's like, they were just a little bit bigger, bud. Not that much bigger, just a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
But all right, people, we have a good podcast for you today. Sorry that we've already taken 20 minutes of your time, but hey, we're entertaining.
Yeah.
We first wanted to start off, really sad news. Pope Francis passed away yesterday, correct? As we're recording this, or
Easter Monday.
Yeah.
So
Easter Monday. So that was, I can't say I was shocked. He had a lot of health issues, and it seemed like it was just, honestly, for him, I thought he was going to go last year, to be quite honest, just how much he was in the news and stuff. But I'm not a big religious person, but the stuff that kind of popped around him passing really intrigued me, dude. And I want you to check this out. And people, I'm trying to edit and make things really interesting for y'all out there and fun. So I got this audio clip. I saw this from Sunday Cool. You can find them on YouTube. They're called Sunday Cool. This was really interesting. Check this out.
You guys want to hear something terrifying? The Prophecy of the Popes.
Oh boy.
This book in the Vatican archives predicted every single pope from 1143 all the way to our current pope. But the scary thing is, after Pope Francis, the last one, it just says Judgment Day.
Oh gosh.
It literally ends after Pope Francis?
Yes. The creepiest thing, inside St. Paul's Basilica, bordering the whole inner sanctuary, is a picture of every single pope. But what's weird is that there's only a certain amount of markers where you can put a picture. There's one left after Pope Francis. They have always said once that last slot is filled, it will be the end of the world. What he predicted.
Isn't that crazy? There's still more. I just thought like this. That's
look at. Can you see my notes?
Notes. Did I take away? Should I stop? You want me to stop?
We're going to talk about it.
Okay. I'll finish this off.
That's exactly what I was going to talk about. But the thing is, I have other stuff about that. But go ahead.
Okay. I'll finish. I think there's like 30 more seconds.
That's great. The picture. There's one left after Pope Francis. They have always said once that last slot is filled, it will be the end of the world. What he predicted, the time it took to go from the first pope that he wrote about to the halfway mark was 422 years. He's saying from the middle one to the end, another 422 years will be the end of the world. If you do 422 in the middle pope, which was 1585, that year is 2027. It's even weirder. Pope John the 23rd, he said that the end of the world would happen 2,000 years plus Christ's life. So that adds up to 2027. That's right.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. They wrote about this already.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
And the funny thing, I told one of my coworkers, and he gave the greatest response to that. And he was like, I'm not worried.
Yeah. Neither am I. So here's something that I found that was just on that. So now I don't have to explain all the stuff that I was going to explain because you just did, and I was going to butcher it. So that explained it very well. So when they talk about the end of the world, or basically what it says is the end times, what I think is they're not talking about the end of the world, like we're going to blow up in an Armageddon. We're talking about the end of times, which means a new beginning. Okay, which means the end of the Roman Catholic Church. In the next couple of years, they're going to have chaos and anarchy in the Roman Catholic Church. They're going to have a hard time picking a new pope. And when they have this intrigued me when they picked St. Francis. I didn't know anything about this. And so I don't even remember how long ago that was, but how they have the smoke, and black smoke comes out if they haven't chosen, and white smoke comes out when they choose. And that just intrigued me how they pick, and then going through all the steps that it takes for them to pick all the cardinals. Certain cardinals get to choose. And it just intrigued me. But I saw this and I said, they always talk about like revelations and Jesus coming back, right? This is the end of times, the end times, which is the end of the Roman Catholic Church and the return of Jesus. And when I say Jesus, I don't mean the guy with the beard coming down, right? I mean people moving more towards Christ in their beliefs and what's happening right now, right? It's something that's actually happening right now. And they say by 2027, so we're in 2025 right now. So it's going to take a few years for all this to happen. And with the Roman Catholic Church, it's the Holy Roman Empire. And look at, I don't know a lot about it, but the Holy Roman Empire, I mean, it's been thousands of years. Over 1,000 years that the Holy Roman Empire has been in power. And they are the Vatican, the Roman Church is involved in globalism, right? This St. Francis was a globalist. He was pushing a one world government, one world currency. It was something that he was for. He worked with, or he talked a lot with the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab. And what happened after he died? Klaus Schwab stepped down. And Klaus Schwab said he was going to stay, he was going to step down, but he was going to stay until 2027. But he decided to step down. And he's the one who was pushing the one world agenda. He was the one saying that you will own nothing and you will be happy. He's the one during the whole COVID times was saying, he predicted it. He said, this is going to be how the world is going to be. It's going to be a one world government. The entire world is going to be under one government. And this is what he was pushing. And Pope Francis actually was for that. So I don't want to say anything bad about Pope Francis, but he was the last pope. And now this is going to be the end of the power of the Roman Catholic Church. And that's a prediction, the end times. So, yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, I have no clue what anybody thinks when they predict something like this, you know?
Yeah. Well, St. Malachi predicted every pope. He predicted where they were from. He predicted names. All the prophecies of the popes were predicted by St. Malachi. And it's crazy, like how right he was. Also, Nostradamus predicted some stuff too that has to do with all this. And you know how accurate Nostradamus has been. So all these prophecies, all these predictions, and they keep saying the end times, and people are saying that's the end of the world. Like we're all going to blow up and we're going to die.
Right.
But no, that's not what I think it is.
Well, I mean, especially in the scripture back then, you can take it so many different ways. You know, I'm sure they weren't so frank in their words or blunt, you know, like, and, you know, instead of end the days, like you are all going to die, you know, that's not,
and
it's like, that's not
explode. Like,
you know, you don't write that.
It's the end of a cycle. Yeah. So it's the end of a cycle, right? And
that makes sense. That totally makes sense
to me.
Too.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm just a dummy. I don't know things, but things make sense to me. And also, okay, so on Christmas, so the first pope was St. Peter. Okay. He was the very first pope. And on Christmas Day, he opened the tomb of St. Peter on Christmas Day. He opened it. And that was like it was filmed, everything. He was in a wheelchair. They opened up the doors and that, you know, being the first pope and him being the last pope. So it's kind of significance there. Right. And it's just an end of a cycle. It's just the like 1,000 years, more than that, you know, just the end of a cycle. Now it's like the new world. It's going to be a new world. And
it's kind of hard for me to accept that they would be like, yeah, it's time. You guys are ready just to break tradition. You know, like you guys are ready for change. I don't know.
That's why.
And they're all like this, like, all like creepy, you know, almost like,
no. Yeah. And I mean, there's other theories about like the end of times being and this is another like out there thing that I look into sometimes, but there's the return of the Anunnaki, right? This is in Egypt, and then in Rome as well. They talked about it, right? The Anunnaki came down, and in 3,000 years, they're supposed to return. So the Anunnaki are the ones who are supposedly the ones that gave us all this information and all this basically not technology, but information on how to build all these structures and how to do all this stuff. And then they had to go back to their planet because their planet was leaving not the orbit, but like in a spot where they could actually go back. And in 3,000 years, it'll come back to where they can come back to our planet. And that's around right now. 3,000 years is around right now. So they said it coincides with the return of the Anunnaki as well. So another conspiracy theory, another weird theory. It's all these, I watch too much Ancient Aliens. So I watch, it's like my comfort show. So
I can't say anything because my wife watches it religiously. And she's like, look, I'm like, right on.
yeah. But it all coincides with everything. I mean, if you look at like ancient alien theories and stuff like that going into like the Roman Catholic Church and the Vatican itself, I mean, you see a spire there, or what is it called? The big, what are they called? I can't remember now, but the ones you see like in Egypt, and then you see them everywhere, right? They're tall and they're pointy, like the Washington Monument, whatever you fucking call that thing. You see them in the Vatican too.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're shaped like that, right? So they're in the Vatican too, and they're in Egypt, and they're in South American places, right? And then the Washington Monument was that shape, right? So it's all the same shit. It all coincides. It's all like crazy shit, dude. It's a crazy rabbit hole to go down.
And all these people, they're like, we're in the Matrix. We're all in a simulation.
Yeah.
You know, it just feeds. I don't want to feed that. Like those people that are listening that are like, yeah, they're going to get into it. They're going to know. It's like, no, we're not. It's
no,
like,
we're not. We don't know anything.
We're not in a, no.
We're just
I don't know
dummies from
anything,
Lake
but I don't know anything, but I know, like, in my belief, we're not in a simulation.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
But it is interesting that, I mean, call it human nature / simulation.
Yeah.
But we all deal with the same stuff.
Yeah.
We all have doppelgangers around the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's like at some point, this simulation AI is like, I can't generate any more people. You all look the same. Like there's no more genetics unless I just really go messed up like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And we don't need that in this world.
Yeah. Well, we're all going to be cyborgs eventually. So
I always thought that was interesting that we all like deal with the same stuff, like we all put ourselves almost in the same, situations at one point in our lives. Mm-hmm. We have a doppelganger that really truly does look like us somewhere in this world.
Yep.
And it's not a celebrity. It's somebody that truly looks like us.
There's multiple. There's got to be thousands that look just like us, I mean, it's just the way it is. You can't have...
It's a trip.
It's just you can't have unique, 100% unique. Everybody can't be with the billions of people in the world. You can't have everyone be unique. So, yeah, it's like... So then that's what people say, like, it's a glitch in the Matrix. They had to, you had to double it up a little bit.
Is Disney on a glitch right now, dude, with all the movies they're making?
I don't know what they're doing.
It's all just like twitching on the writing on the writer's board.
Yeah. I don't even want to get into that stupid shit, but yeah.
Oh, but gosh, people, Marvel's Fantastic Four. I know everybody's excited about Thunderbolts, but no, that Fantastic Four movie's going to be so good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're watching The Last of Us, but boy, man, is that show getting heat. Just because of the co-star, the female. And let me look at her so I can give her some appreciation. But The Last of Us, if you guys do not know, is a HBO series based off the video game on PlayStation, which it is renowned to most gamers out there as one of the top 10 games of all time. Story mode, everything, gameplay, anything you can think about, it is like top 10, So they did it at adaptation of it on HBO, and the person who is playing Ellie, Bella Ramsey. Okay, there's her name, Bella Ramsey. They are giving her so much flack because she A, doesn't look anything like her, and B, is nothing like the character. Like she's a little bit more masculine of the role than the character, and they built up so much flack to this season 2. It just started like 2 weeks ago, that every time I watch it, I go in there with a biased opinion. I'm like, yeah, she doesn't look like Ellie. I don't like it. She doesn't look like Ellie. But the thing about it is she's doing a good job so far. Like I'm invested in these people. So it's just, it's a really good series. And I just hate to always look at critics, and it just, no matter who it is, somebody I know, somebody I don't follow, they always seem to have such an influence on shows that I like for some reason. I always have to go into it and think about it. Like, what are they talking about? Let me find it. And then I go in there like, hating the show,
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of shows, never again will I watch your Black Mirror or whatever the hell you showed me, dude. The episodes that you told me to watch were like 2 relationship episodes back to back where my lady, I was looking at her. I was like, would you? And she's like, shut up. I'm like, I was like giving her those like,
Yep.
Not like seriously, but it was like, I don't like this feeling how this show makes me feel, especially in the relationship. And like when the episode that you showed me where the guy gave like all of his money for this girl to become a contestant.
Yeah.
And like, kind of like an American Idol type thing. And then they turn her into like a showgirl and like, a triple X person. that broke my heart. And I was like, man, I've given everything to certain women, and that's kind of like they just left me and they became porn stars. So it's a really well written show, but man, those 2 episodes, like I told her, I was like, I can't do this. I'm like, these episodes really like got me emotional.
Oh, you gotta just keep going. It just gets so much better. It's so good, bro.
Power through your weak ass feelings and just watch the damn season.
Watch everything. I'll send you some more episodes that aren't that way. But dude, oh my God, it's just so like mind blowing, some of the stuff. And it's like, it's supposed to be like an alternate reality, but it's like, this shit could happen. Like a lot of this shit is starting to, like, I think it started like in 2017 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but now all this shit's coming, like this shit's happening. So that's what's weird. It's like, it's all technology that could happen in the future. And
that whole room where I hit the whole room is all screens, like a big old giant screen and stuff. I mean, I thought that was cool, like with the alarm and stuff, but the fact that he couldn't close out certain apps and stuff like that, and they would charge him to close it or mute it. That was kind of shady, dude. And but I thought it was a cool idea that you can work out, you know, and like burn fat to gain money. I thought that was really cool, man. That's a cool fucking job, man.
Well, they're powering
things, yeah. But like that's how I looked at it.
World. That's the thing. Is like where him and the girl go is like the actual outside world, and these people are slaves basically. But the only way they can survive and actually stay where they're motivated so they can like watch these shows is like they have to go and power those bikes and earn money so that they can actually eat or they can actually watch shows or they can do anything, because he earns all this money and he has nothing left and he can't do anything. He can't even eat. That's why he's saving his money and stealing other people's food and all that stuff, because he wants to get to the outside world. But yeah, it's just like they're slaves powering the outside world. That's the whole thing. And it's just crazy. It's a crazy concept. And it's like, man, some of this shit.
You know what? I probably should watch those over again because I looked at it so wrong. Like, this is a relationship bullshit thing. I didn't look at it like these people are slaves. This guy's starving himself to become a better person. This, and that. His brother that died gave him all this money. Then he gave it to this chick. Yeah. And I went completely sideways because she wasn't a good singer, but she has a great body. It was fucked up, people. Yeah. Like when I recommended a show to him, he was really open-minded to it. And I went through 2 episodes of his and I was like, this guy broke me.
You fucking asshole.
Like, you broke me. This guy broke me. I was like, I'm not watching this.
I watched the shit you told me to watch. Like, I watched it in like a day.
It was 3 episodes.
2 episodes. Fuck that.
It was 3 episodes. I'm 75% I'm 75% of what you watched.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So one more thing about the Pope passing away. My lady told me about this. Do you know who Trisha Paytas is?
No.
So she is, so people don't know, I saw her off of a clip of this guy just making fun of her on a podcast, and I thought that was hilarious. But apparently she is based off of Wiki. She's an American media personality. Her content consists of a wide variety of genres, including lifestyle-oriented vlogs, music videos, and dude, I had to look this up because I did not know what this was. Do you know what mukbangs are? MUKBANGS.
It's where they eat and people get pleasure from watching them eat. Am I right?
How do you know this?
I don't know. I have no fucking idea.
Are you questioning him right now? Are you driving and you're like, how does he know this? What the hell is this? I had to look it up myself. I had to look up videos. It is the most disturbing. Everything that you guys see when people are like it's not ASMR. It really isn't, because it's just like a pig, just like.
Yeah, like they eat disgustingly. Yeah. And
it's really foul.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to look up videos and like this, there's like millions of views on this.
Yeah.
We've talked about how sick we are.
Yeah.
And there's a name behind this.
Yeah.
I just thought my daughter was like, it's ASMR. I'm like, no, eating is just not ASMR. It could be anything. That's not the definition for just eating. It's called mukbang now. That's disturbing. It's horrible. Yeah. So she's, known for that. So my lady's like, hey, did you hear about, the Trisha Paytas theory. I'm like, I have no idea who she is. I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, check this out. She sends me this video. Dude, this is hilarious. People, if you have a minute, check this out. I'm entertaining.
Okay, so people don't know about the Trisha Paytas world leader baby reincarnation story. It's a theory, not a story. But basically, okay, Trisha Paytas, she went her whole life not being able to have kids, right? She was very upset about it. Any guy she's ever dated, she actively tried to have kids with, whether he knew or not, okay? Then eventually she gets with Moses, and they are actively trying to have kids together, right? It takes them a little while, but they get pregnant, and it's like it's a miracle because she was infertile before. Then right before she has her first daughter, Malibu Barbie, the queen died. I mean, right before. And everybody was just like, oh my God, Trisha's baby is going to be the queen. Skip forward a little bit of time. She gets pregnant again, okay? It's like the president of Iran or something that dies. Supposedly was also suspiciously close to the baby's date of birth. So she has her other baby, Elvis, and people like to make jokes that that baby was actually the leader of Iran. Now she's on baby number 3. She's pregnant with baby number 3, and the Pope has died. Everybody thinks that she has had the queen, the leader of Iran, and now she's going to have the Pope as her third child. There's also a joke and a theory that the reason that this is happening is because she made a song called I Love You, Jesus, and that he was blessing her. Okay, so people don't know about the Trisha Paytas.
Isn't that crazy, dude? I was like, man, my lady, I was like, dude, I can't believe this, but it's funny. It's so crazy because how things align and how if one of her kids marries some sultan or some prince or some whatever in the future, legitimized. That woman's going to be legitimized for the rest of her life. That's crazy. That I was blown away to hear that, dude. I was like, this is wild.
It's just dumb.
This is crazy timing, dude.
Yeah, it's just
people are like, you wasted a minute of my time. Like, no, that was hilarious, dude. That was fucking funny. All right, people. So on from the Pope, we wanted to talk about the Blue Origin launch. How did you guys feel about this? Did you feel that you got duped? Did you feel like you watched history in the making? Me, at first, I'll be quite honest with you, I thought we were getting duped. But I have some information for you guys that kind of changed my perspective of things, but I'm going to let Richard talk about his feelings first.
I don't know if you can change my mind, but that shit was fake as fuck. That shit was not real. I'm sorry. That motherfucker was not real. Cause I mean, from the launch, looked fake as fuck. When they were in space, it looked fake as fuck. They're all with their hair did, and they're wearing earrings and got their nails did. And they just, like that. They're not fucking astronauts. And I know they didn't go high enough to where, I don't know how to explain it, but like when you go into orbit, you go a little further. They didn't break the atmosphere. So when they come back down, it's not going to burn up like normal. And I heard all that stuff, but I've seen videos of when they land, the ground around where they land is completely different than the pictures of when they're opening the thing. And then the door opens to the inside. Everybody's seen that part. And they opened it too soon, but it's not supposed to open to the inside. If you see any hatch on any spacecraft, anything that goes up, it opens from the outside because of the pressure. Because the pressure in space, you don't want it going in. You want it coming out because you want the pressure is going to be on the actual spacecraft. Why did it open in? I mean, to me, everything, like even from when you see a video of a guy walking on the outside of it and then the close up of it that everybody's seen, you see it's the actual craft is a lot smaller. It's all, in my opinion, is all staged. So try to change my mind. I don't think you can.
I saw the videos. So I went through a lot of videos of like, this is AI generated from launch, which it looks really, really sharp, like almost too sharp of a launch, Yeah. I saw that. I questioned that I questioned the whole thing of them getting to a certain part of the atmosphere and then going down and not like just getting skyrocketed down and like burning up and stuff. I found all that information because it's not true. So that wasn't going to happen because they didn't go high enough. They didn't break the atmosphere of space.
Right.
So that was debunked on that. The size, I'm kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you because I've watched the previous videos of like the previous launches, with them in the same type of craft and it kind of looks the same, size and stuff like that. But I don't know this is fake, but the thing about it is, dude, the FFA has these, six women on a plaque next to astronauts that earned their wings, went through all the courses and all the rigorous training to deserve that name on that plaque. And I want to play something for you and see how you guys feel about it, because whether this is fake or not, I think the biggest thing that bothers me most about this is this clip, what I heard. And this just, if you guys can leave a comment in any one of your podcast platforms, do so. Let us know how you feel about it. I know most platforms don't allow that, but Spotify is pretty freaking awesome. And SoundCloud allows that as well. And hopefully Apple will eventually catch up to all this and be like, we did it better. And it's like, nah, man, like we're already doing something else better than you guys.
Yep.
So it always happens. Like I'm excited that the Apple's going to come down with like, a flip down phone, like when you just like, like a flip phone, pretty much old school. Apple's going to do that, but Samsung's had Galaxy's had that for years already. Mm-hmm. So anyways, just so you know, that's how Apple works. But let me know how you guys feel about this clip.
In 2004, the FAA created a commercial astronaut wings program for the crew who flew the vehicle above 50 statute miles, 80 kilometers. But the program stopped in December 2021. Instead of issuing wings, the FAA will recognize individuals who reach 50 miles in altitude on its website. With the advent of the commercial space tourism era, starting in 2022, the Federal Aviation Administration will now recognize individuals who reach space on its website instead of issuing commercial space astronaut wings. Any individual who is on an FAA-licensed or permitted launch and reaches 50 statute miles above the surface of the Earth will be listed on the site.
That's dumb.
That burned me, dude.
Yeah, they don't deserve that.
That chapped me so bad, dude.
Yeah.
If you have $115,000 to climb aboard this, you can be on a plaque and be considered an astronaut.
No,
that should bother you guys out there. That should bother everybody. I'm not going to put a title on this because I don't want to start anything or ruffle any feathers. But this is a form of like, hey, we can make shortcuts for this. If you have money, we can make shortcuts. We can give out easy titles. That's not fair. That's not right. Especially if these men and women who go through all the rigorous training in years. And I'm not talking about like being an attorney, like 8 years or whatever. You're going your entire life just to be considered to be put into NASA and astronaut training to even do a mission.
Yeah.
So you do all this training for the hopes of that. But if you have $115,000, like if I won the lottery tomorrow, I can be like, I'm going to be an astronaut by Thursday.
Yeah. And it's just stupid. It's like, you have to be the military, you have to be in the Air Force usually, you have to be a pilot usually is what they do. They have to go through all this rigorous training for years and years and years. And then you have to go through training just to be an astronaut, to go to space and do everything. I mean, it's just, and you have to be one of the elite to do it. You have to be top.
You have to be accepted.
Yes.
You just can't be that badass and be like, I'm next in line. Like, no, they have to pick you. They got to find something else in you because everybody else is doing the same shit you are.
Yeah.
You know?
And Jeff Bezos spends millions of dollars and shoots these basically celebrities, people, and just shoots them into space and they come right back down. And now they're considered the same as those people that have put in all this work and effort. It's a participation trophy. And that's the era we're in, is you get a participation trophy just for showing up. And they did nothing to deserve that.
Jeff Bezos, if you want to do that, if you want to offer that once in a lifetime trip, which I would love to go on the edge of space. You know, if it is legit, I would love that opportunity. I truly would. But you, myself, nor anybody else that has not gone through the training does not deserve such title.
Nope.
It should be a luxury. That should be a luxury. That is a luxury trip. You know, a once in a lifetime. You know, when people hit the Titanic, that was a once in a lifetime trip. People really thought that was a once in a lifetime thing. You know?
Yeah.
And everybody that paid all that money, they're like, oh, you guys are all crewmen and seamen and shit like that. You know, no. You're a captain. You're all captains and stuff. It's silly.
Yeah.
It's silly to think that how easy it is to put a title on a price. You know, and that's not, and I'm sorry, people, it's just not fair, you know, and, you know, if this was real and they got to experience it, good for them, you know, cause like I said, I would love it and great for them to do that, but don't come out here and say, I think we did something remarkable. No, you got funded by whoever paid your tuition for this and you just got to go on a free ride. That's really what it is. You did nothing special.
Yeah.
Nothing at all.
Nothing, you know? At all.
And you're not even humbled about it. That's the one thing. You're not like, man, this was just an amazing opportunity. I wish everybody could experience this. It wasn't even like that. It wasn't even like what anybody said was inspiring at all.
Yeah.
It was quite the opposite. It was so cringy that it made you dislike the fact that they were the ones that were able to go out there and do that and being put on a plaque.
Yeah. And then the one girl's like, have you been to space? Have you been to space? And I'm like, no, bitch, I can't even afford eggs. No, I have not been to fucking space. You know,
I'm trying to put gas in my car.
I can't put gas in my fucking car. You know, I can't survive. But your ass is talking about, you know, you just spent all this money and you got shot into space. No, bitch, I haven't been to space and I'm not going to space because I can't afford that shit. I can't afford to eat. You know, don't fucking, who the fuck are you to, so that pissed me off when I saw that. Like she was be like, fuck you. Sorry. Just like, I don't think that these people should be putting us down like that. Like saying like, look at us. We went to space. Look at us. You can't do that. Look at me, you know, while we're sitting here, you're barely surviving.
They're just totally, some of them don't have a grip on reality. They're like so stuck in their own lives and with everybody, with all their yes ma'ams, no ma'am, or other yes ma'ams or yes sirs. They're just stuck in that little bubble where anything outside of that, it's like, ooh, like we are looked at as peasants.
Yeah,
you know?
Totally.
You know, it's a peasant life. And, you know, I don't want anybody to be offended by that because we should all just be thankful that we're waking up every single day. Yeah. You know what? I would, if I had all the money that all these celebrity has and I have a shitty personality, I wouldn't want it. Yeah. I wouldn't want it. You know, if I did ever win the lottery or come up on any bit of wealth, I would be so humbled about it and be so thankful. I would want honestly, dude, I've talked about this before. If I ever came up on wealth, I would have all this land and just build houses with all my closest friends and family. And I would live my life out like that. Just spread out, just like the righteous gemstones, how they have their houses all set up and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Just perfect. Just spread out through this whole amount of land so we could all just be happy with each other and stuff. I would love to live my day out like that. But I wouldn't be like, texting to all the people that weren't there and be like, haha, guess what I have and you don't, you know, guess what I did and like, it's such a disconnect from fucking humanity. It truly is. And it almost brings up the next subject with like the Coachella people. Yeah. You know, there's like a big disconnect with that. And I don't know if you want to talk more about the Blue Origin, but
no, like, I said my piece.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't change your opinion on the fakeness.
It's fake as fuck, and I will not change that. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah,
but it ties into the whole Coachella thing. It's not even a festival anymore. You know, it started off with like rock bands, indie bands, went to like big time EDM, and now it's like an influencer's paradise. You know, if you have a social media of 100,000 plus, whatever platform you have, that's where you need to be in April. You know, Coachella is your thing. And I don't know if anybody did see it. You can find all the tragedy that happened, but the first day, it took almost 12 hours for most people to get into the campsite. And I've lived in Desert Hot Springs, the Palm Springs, Coachella area. So I know that long stretch to get to that ground is a nightmare because there's no break off points at some point into private homes. So you're just really just driving this long stretch where you can't get out nowhere. There's an island right in the middle and there's oncoming traffic. So you're effed big time. So people in traffic for 12 hours. Coachella, Palm Springs is hot, people. And it was hot the first week. And if you have a beat up car at all, you're punishing that car that weekend, especially if you're sitting for 12 hours. People, 12 hours? Have you ever just sat in 12? Like if you're in a plane, if you ever took a flight for 12 hours, you're flying 500 miles per hour. You're still going places. Yeah. But you're sitting for 12 hours to get almost 10 miles. Not even that. From like the peak when you get off the 101, not the 101, the 10.
The 10.
When you get off the 10, right when you get off, or it goes to I think you can, you take the 10 out there. Cause I was thinking like maybe you can take the back road out there, but it's not faster. So you get off of there, right off the exit, that's 10 miles to get to the ground at least, dude. 12 hours. So you're starting off with that. Second, when you get into the grounds, there was no security anywhere. So there was nobody pointing out where you needed to set up your campground. So people were just staying and just sitting for like an additional hour or two to get set up. And then people were just posting out right where they're at. They're like, F this. Like I've been trying to do this since 3 a.m. It's 3 p.m. and we're already halfway through day one, or what is it? Friday. So they've been doing that Friday because it starts Friday. Yeah. So that happens. Apparently the food is super overpriced. I go to shows and I know how expensive food can be, but if people are paying $25 to $30 for 3 tacos and $17 for a lemonade, okay, that's crazy. People, I'm breaking all this down for you if you want to look it up. On top of it, if you are an influencer, did you see this, dude? I'm hurting my brain thinking about this. They set up their tents all in decor. They brought beds. They brought chandeliers. They brought desks to write in. They brought pools. It was an influencer's wet dream to all their fans. And just based off of that, I heard people saying this is not fair. When the rich can like live this life and we're just barely trying to survive day one because the food and parking was like almost $500, dude.
That's crazy.
I told my wife I would turn my ass around and leave. I'm like, it's not worth it. I'm like, none of it is.
None of it's worth it.
So I heard that and they're like, this isn't fair. How this just isn't fair between the difference between the rich and the poor and how they're living for Coachella. And I'm like, I can't be mad at this. Yeah. I can't be mad at this because if you're an influencer, you've been hyping Coachella up for months. Coachella expects influencers to hype up the brand. So at least one of their influencers next year can buy a ticket, which by the way, every general admission ticket is $650. Coachella is raking in the dough for it to have bad security, bad campgrounds, the showers. Oh my God. You had to wait 5 hours to get into a 10 minute shower. People, it made me sit back. Oh, on top of it, we've talked about this on million podcasts. No phones in the crowd. If you're going to Coachella, that's all you're going to see in the crowd is phones galore, just sticking up in your face. Nobody's enjoying the music. I lost my ever-loving fucking mind when Benson Boone brought out fucking the guitar player for Queen and nobody reacted. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
I lost, what is his name? Fuck, dude. I forgot his name. I'm a piece of shit for even talking shit because I don't even know his name.
I'm so bad at remembering anybody's name.
Me too. Yeah. But at least I'm better with faces. So when I saw him, like, he's going to play the solo.
Who it was,
he's going to play the solo. So he comes out, he rocks out the last second or the last, section of Bohemian Rhapsody, which Benson Boone was killing the entire time. He was just making it rock, dude. I was so excited. Nobody was in the crowd doing anything. He comes out, plays an epic guitar solo, finishes it off. Benson Boone even went to TikTok and was making fun of the crowd.
Yeah.
The day after his performance. So people, is it worth it? No. I lost my shit. I am not ever going to go to a festival like that, especially because there's nobody that appreciates what they're experiencing. If this is the once in a lifetime thing, it's just like what these astronauts did to all of us peasants. Pretty much saying, I'm better than you. And look at how I'm living compared to you. And look what I can do and you guys can't. It's fucked up. There should be some sort of median where we can get closer to those bungalows and Airbnbs so we can enjoy that. So if you saw your buddies, your 6 friends being in a lavish Airbnb for Coachella, like, hey, how'd you guys do that? Honestly, it was super affordable. We dropped X amount of money for the whole weekend. Why don't you do it? I'm like, all right, me and 4 other people are going to do this. And so that's 4 more tickets. And, you're set up. Then you just keep trickling in it like that. But if you're paying $10,000 for shitty fucking teepees, that's how much. These little bungalows that they had, dude, were like, or these little campground teepee setups they had were like $10,000, dude.
That's crazy.
And if you are going to Coachella to sit in front of your campground and just cook and just chill with your friends, then you're not going there for the fucking festival.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I don't want to be on a Ferris wheel while fucking one of my favorite bands is playing. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's like, no. So if this is your thing, if you ever want to go to Coachella, I'm not going to stop you from ever wanting to do that. Cause I would like to go to EDC just to be like a part of that crazy big festival, but I'm going there for the music. I'm not going to go over there and just drop all this acid and start buying all these glow sticks and just doing all this stuff because I don't know what I'm doing. I want to go in to enjoy the music and see what the big deal is about. And I think everybody should feel the same way about Coachella because you get such a wide variety of artists in 3 days for a whole weekend. It's a quite incredible festival if you're going there and if you're a music fan. But if you're going there and your phone's in your hand constantly and you're constantly on, live Instagram or on TikTok, you're doing it for all the wrong. It's like if you're a parent and you're just constantly selfieing yourself while your kid's trying to blow out her candles and it's all about you and all this stuff. It's all for the wrong reasons. Yeah. It's all for the wrong reasons. It's all about being humble, people. And I feel that nowadays, especially with the Coachella and this whole Blue Origin thing, it just really shows us how low really people can get and how disconnected some people are.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That was a rant, bro.
Sorry, man. That was an ace.
I was like, this motherfucker's ranting. You can show me how you really feel, man. But it all boils down to like when we used to go to shows, we used to go to Warped Tour, or we go to, Lollapalooza back when it was good. It's like nobody had phones. There was no social media. So we were there for the experience and for the music. And now people go because they want to spend all this money and show how cool they are. We could afford to be here. And look at me. Like you said, they're taking selfies and they're showing this and they're saying, we're here, you're not. And they're not there for the music to enjoy the bands, to enjoy the music. They're there for the social media influence to show that, hey, I can do this and you can't. To show, look how cool I am. And they're not there for the music. That's why they're all filming it. That's where they want to put it on their social media. And it's not the same as it was back then. Like, I went to Lollapalooza in 1994. I think I talked about this, but everybody was there watching these bands, and all these bands were pretty underground, and that's what it was. And Coachella used to be that way, where a lot of the bands were kind of not underground, but they were indie bands, and it was like that was the point of it. And then it got big, and now it's just like everybody wants to go there to show that they can go there, and that's basically it. And it's stupid now. It's just all dumb. It's just It's not about the music. It's not about what it should be about. It's just about them making tons of money and people that can afford it going and showing that, hey, look, I can afford this. Look how cool I am.
It's sad. And I saw an article from like one of my favorite bands is Ghost. And they're starting a tour right now and they're in Europe right now. And I saw an article stating that there was a huge delay in the show and a huge delay just getting into the venue because of people not accepting the fact that Ghost does not want them recording their live performances and request or require that you put your phone in the pouches. So when I saw that everybody was upset or like there was a delay, I'm like instantly I thought everybody wants to be on the phone. They want to record this. They want to have this and that. I'm like, it is such an amazing, it's like one of those things. I don't want to go too detailed about like first experiences and stuff like that, but everybody knows their first really cool experience on something that changed their life. And I think if you were to put your phone in a pouch, and I think at least 20 to 30 people around you in the crowd that you're around sitting next to doesn't have phones, you would have the most amazing experience of your life.
100%.
Because you are focused on the show. You're focused on what this group, this artist, whomever you're going to go see, trained to do and gave you a performance. And you're like, wow, this is nutty. Like, look what they're doing. You're not doing that if you're looking through your phone because you're focused on focusing.
Yeah.
You know, zooming in, zooming out. Is the audio good? Please, I hope no one's singing around me because I don't want them singing in my video.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't just record them singing because everybody else would be singing around me. It's just, there's no love for it. And man, when Ghost did that, I'm like, I'm glad they're doing that. And I'm glad they're keeping that going. I hope everybody does that. Please, people, just put your phone, turn your phone off. Just, you know, you don't have to leave your phone in your car because, you know, heaven forbid you leave your phone in your car and God forbid you get back to your car and you're the one car that gets broken into and shit, I left my phone in my car. Yeah. You know, that's what I'm always afraid of. You know, I'm like, I had to leave nothing in the car.
Yeah, no.
Cause like, oh shit, look, dude.
Yeah.
There's a phone in there.
Yeah. I know it's like really hard to do. Like it would be really hard for them to do that, but I think that everybody should do that. Make phones like you're not allowed to have your phone out while the band's performing. And
comedy shows are doing it now.
Yeah, comedy shows do it. Joe Rogan does it at the Mothership and he talks about it all the time. And he's, you know, I love that. I enjoy the experience. Like be there, enjoy the experience. Like I've said before, when I go to a concert, I'll take like a 5-10 second clip and then I'll put it on my story. I won't sit there and film. Like I should see people like this with their phone filming the entire performance. Like I will put like a little, like I said, 5-10 second clip of the band I'm watching, and then that's it. But then I put my phone in my pocket and I experience it because, and so I do kind of a mix of both. We're like, hey, I put it on social media, like, hey, look where I am. Hey, cool. I'm seeing my favorite band or I'm seeing this band, but it's 10 seconds on my story. I don't sit there and film the whole thing. And I see people sometimes with like these minute-long things on the posts about the band they're watching, a whole song. I'm like, put your fucking phone away, watch the show. And I think if they took the phones away, I'd be for it. If they said, hey, you can't have your phone up, hell yeah, let me watch the show. Because I try to experience the show anyway when I'm there. I just want to watch the band. I want to make the memories. I don't want to sit there and look in my phone and watch it that way. I want to experience it and remember it. And I see people all the time with their phone, like recording the whole fucking show like this. And I'm like, dude, put your fucking phone away. Let's experience this band. Let's do it the way it used to be in the 90s, you know, before these fucking stupid inventions of cell phones.
Life has become too easy for us.
Yeah.
Where we're not trying to remember things and trust our memory, especially if you're going to go see a comedy show and you're having a hissy fit about putting your phone away. If you can't focus on the one individual that's in front of you, just telling you fucking jokes and remember what they said, then just don't leave your house.
Yeah.
You know, just don't
watch Netflix all the time. Cause if you don't want to experience that, you just want to experience you want to experience Instagram and you want to experience Netflix. That's what your life is about. If you don't go to a show, don't go.
Yeah. And especially like, I understand if you go in to see a show, like you're like, okay, cool. I want to have at least a little clip of what I saw so I can show my family or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're You know what drives me nuts is when you go on Instagram and you go on their people's stories and you see all the like 1,000 dots at the top and they're all fucking videos of the show they were at.
Yes.
And it's like,
yes.
I'm like, did you fucking watch the show at all? I'm like, apparently, because you're watching it through your phone.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, first off, now I have to like.
And every person does that. Every person goes, no, fuck it, I don't care. You know?
Yeah. I just click.
That's why I do like two, maybe three.
Yeah, two.
And that's it.
Yep.
And that's it. And it's usually like 10 seconds long. And it's just basically just to, you know, say, hey, you know, I'm out. I like to show like, hey, I like to show that I'm going out and doing shit because I want other people to go out and do shit. Right. It's like, hey, look what he's doing. I want to go do shit too. Instead of sitting around in your house and not doing anything, because I like to go do shit. And that's why I like to post things on my social media. It's like, hey, look what I'm doing. You can do it too. Go do it. Get out and fucking touch grass. That's why I like to post pictures of the outside because look, I'm out here fucking walking. I'm out here doing shit. You guys should do it too because it's fucking great. Do something with your life. Go have fun. And so that's why I do it. But nobody wants to watch the whole show on my story. Nobody wants to sit there and watch it. No,
it's like, yeah, because then it's just like, then you lose the effect of it.
Yeah.
It's like, if you just gave me one or two clips, like that looked fun.
Yeah.
Like, I would be interested.
That's exactly
in
what
that,
I want you to say. When you look at my story, I want you to say, man, he looks like he's having a good time. Not, hey, let me watch the show that he's at. No, nobody wants to do that. So don't do that, people. People do not do that anymore. Do not film the entire show and put it on your social media. Nobody cares.
Just try it. Try change. Oh my gosh. This whole thing about change and like what's going on. Like we don't like change, but we're seeing it, you know, we're seeing, dude, I just pulled up like the old posters of Coachella from like 99, all the old posters and shit. Yeah. Dude, guess who headlined fucking 99 Coachella?
Who?
Saturday, October 9th was Beck, followed by the Chemical Brothers, Morrissey, Perry Farrell, and then Cornelius and Biss. I don't know who those guys are.
I don't know who that is.
And then
Morrissey.
Sunday was Rage Against the Machine, Tool, Ben Harper and the Innocent Criminals, Pavement, Kibo Mato, and Money Mark. But, dude, those first two, those headliners, those are bangers, dude.
Yeah.
Those are bangers.
Yeah.
And then you go to 2000, I didn't see 2000, but 2001 was Jane's Addiction. You seen how it's all like indie rock? Paul Oakenfold, Weezer, Chemical Brothers, Fatboy Slim, The Roots. That would have been cool to see The Roots back in 2001. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
One more. I'll give you one more. 2002, Bjork headline Saturday, followed by the Chemical Brothers. And then Oasis headline Sunday, followed by The Prodigy and Foo Fighters. The Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the Foo Fighters.
That's so hilarious.
That's so great, man.
Yeah.
But damn, dude, like, you know, things have changed. Coachella's changed. I mean, I'm sure that ticket was like maybe like $100 or $200 at tops for like VIP back in the day.
Yeah.
For it to be $650 and everything else around it costs more than your general admission. We were taking the fun out of the things that should have been fun in the first place, people.
Yeah.
We're really for greed, for money, for stuff that is being printed and generated every day. There's no significance to money unless you're a coin collector. That's the only significance. As a matter of fact, people out there, if you can find me a coin of the old currency that doesn't say "In God We Trust," but it says "Mind Your Business," what it originally said, that's the currency I want in my fucking pocket.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. You can look it up. If you can find me a penny, I will pay top dollar for that fucking penny. And I will put it around my neck. I think that is the greatest shit I've ever heard in my life. Mind your business. Here's my money. Like, how are you, sir? Look at the coin. Look at the penny.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. So, good shit, my brother.
Good shit. As usual.
Yes. So people, I hope thank you again. We didn't keep you that long this time, like an hour and 15. We truly enjoy doing these podcasts in the 9th installment. I'm glad you guys are still sticking with us. I love this dude. You know, he means a lot to me. I love the person he is. And I think it makes these podcasts really enjoyable because we can riff off each other, good or bad. Him show me really shitty shows, and I show him great shows.
Keep watching, bro. Keep watching. You gotta try it out, bro. It's so good. It's so fucking crazy. You have to give it a try. You only watch 2 episodes. You gotta keep going, man. It's so good.
But I hope you guys all out there accept the good and bad, the ups and downs in life, because it will get better as long as you're willing to get up and accept and have the change to change things. You know, I'll tell you one little quick story before I let you guys go. We'll let you go. But, I remember when before we were even doing podcasts, before we even did our first one together, you know, just even talking, not even the useless information. I was telling my wife, I really want to reach out to Richard, and I don't know how I'm going to do this because we don't talk. We text each other here and there. Sometimes we message each other on IG, but it's not like one of those friendships like we've talked about in the past. I never thought that you and I would ever be as close as we are right now. Yeah. Never in a million years.
Yeah.
So I had to put myself on the line and be like, you know what? I'm going to reach out. I'm going to see if he wants to do it. And we'll go from there. If it happens, great. And you know what? That one reach out, that text changed my life in podcasting, dude. And I'm very thankful for you for that. And it really does take you to put your neck out there for something you really, truly want. And honestly, we've talked about this before, dude. And if we can make a living doing podcasts, I would retire talking to you forever, my friend.
Yeah. Hell yeah, we should try it. Let's do it.
Yeah,
because I feel the same way, man. Like, it's like, I was talking to my girl about it too, my future wife about it. And I was like, man, it's so crazy how like we just started podcasting and now like we've regained our friendship that we had back in the day. And even back in the day, we were friends, but we weren't like super close hanging out all the time, but we were homies. But now we're becoming like really, really good friends through podcasting. And I love it, dude. It's just great. You know, it's awesome. And I hope that we can continue doing this for years and maybe someday make money on it. But I would do it for free for the next 100 years just to hang out and talk to you all the time, bro. Cause I enjoy when we do this. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. Dude. And it brings me like joy. Like seriously, like I'm like, hell yeah. And then I'm editing and I'm like, that was so funny. We said that. I get happy, bro. Cause I want to keep doing this for a long time, bro.
Me too. You know, money or no money, I want to do this as long as I possibly can, man. And I hope you all out there have somebody that you can go and call and have these conversations with, because if we're excited by doing these, you know, kind of Zoom podcasts, I can only imagine if I'm this excited to talk to you on a Zoom, I can't wait to do a podcast in person with you.
Yeah, we got to plan that.
Cannot.
We got to do something this summer. Figure it out where we can actually do something like together in the same place. So, but yeah, dude, we should try to figure that out because that would be super fun, dude. That would be so fun.
Everybody, here's your mission until we get back to do another episode for episode 10 for double digits.
Oh, holy number 10. Shit. Hell yeah.
So find your quote unquote podcast buddy, talk to them, go and talk to them for 10, 15 minutes.
Yep.
You know, go change your perspective. It's honestly the most fun thing you can possibly do. And the fact that I've been talking to this guy for almost an hour and 20 minutes, it honestly seemed like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. We could probably talk for another 2 hours together, but we want to keep them, you know, around an hour. We don't want people to get too annoyed with us. We want to keep you here. Yeah. So definitely.
So people, please go listen to the Mind of Dick podcast on Spotify, Apple. You can follow him on Instagram.
Yeah.
And you can follow the Conference Call podcast if you want to, you know, kind of listen to some shit.
You don't have to. I wouldn't.
It's not a big deal.
I really wouldn't.
Sometimes if you do follow the Mind of Dick podcast, sometimes he tags that site, you know, so you will see it eventually. So, but if you want to check it out, go check it out. Try it out.
It's all right.
Change your algorithm up.
Yeah.
Change it.
Yeah. Change it up. Yeah. Guys, go listen to the Conference Call podcast. I do this because of him. Okay. I do this because of him. Go listen to the Conference Call podcast. It's amazing. I never miss it. When it comes out, I put it on right away. I'll do it while I'm cleaning my apartment. I'll blast it in my car. Make sure I listen to this guy. Go listen to the Conference Call podcast.
I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate
you guys out there. Please keep positive and stay classy.
Peace.